How do you do, ladies and turds, and welcome back to another lovely video. Today is a huge day because it is finally here. Xenoblade X has officially launched on the Nintendo Switch, and I couldn't be more excited. But you know what's weird? I didn't see like a single advertisement for this game. There was no posters, there was no demo stations, there was nothing. I was like, what the turd? I wanted like a little quick video or a picture just to show for this video here, but I was surprised that there was nothing there. I was like, that makes no sense. Like, this is a huge deal. Where is everything, right? But anyways, holding this game brings back so many more memories, right? I remember on the launch day for the original Wii U version here, I had to walk about an hour in the snow to GameStop just to pick up my copy, as well as my pink Yoshi. And then I came back and right away I streamed it for 10 hours straight. At the end of that week, I spent about 80 hours just basically living in this world. I remember waking up and then going immediately to start a stream for another like 10 to 15 hours, only to fall asleep and then do it again. I was completely addicted to this game that I was dreaming about playing it when I was asleep. And eventually, it actually caught up to me, and I was like very tired from not sleeping, and I felt like a zombie, which is why I actually had to stop playing for a while. Now, I have a lot to say about the Wii U version and plenty of stories to share that I'll, talk about here in this video, but let's talk about the Switch version itself. It's pretty much the same game, but it's kind of like a remastered port with a few noticeable differences. So first of all, like a huge major thing, unlike the Wii U version here, you don't need to download I don't know if it was like a 20 gigabyte data pack to improve loading times or graphics, like you had to do on the eShop back, when this came out. Instead, it's all been compressed into a cartridge. I think it's like 15 gigabytes, whereas this one was maybe like 30 to 50, which is insane, right? Like, it feels like black magic. Somehow Monolith Soft was able to fit this huge game into this small cartridge. So that is extremely nice, because I remember you had to have this downloaded before you started the game, so everything kind of worked smoothly. It was nice that it was free, but now that the eShop and everything is gone from the Wii U, you technically can't get that anymore available if you want it. Also, it feels like the loading times are a lot faster too. Like, the game just throws you right into the action without any waiting at all. I noticed that the textures are a little bit sharper and the resolution a little bit better as well. Everything just looks a little bit shinier. Like, also the animation seems smooth too. Like, there's no frame rate issues or anything. I'm guessing it's like a consistent 30 FPS. And the fact that you can now play Xenoblade X portably is insane, right? Like, it's huge. But with that said, there's always just like this one small thing that's missing, and it breaks my heart. And that's the gamepad itself, right? Like, on the Wii U version, you could look down and see the entire map right there at all times, which made exploring so much more intuitive. Now, on the Switch though, you have to go through like this menu, then click another button, and then, zoom out, and then you have the full map. It still works, but just a little bit more clunky, if that makes sense. Like, it's a bit more extra buttons. I always just love having the map right there on the second screen, look down and there it is. Whether it was playing on the Wii U or the 3DS, it made RPGs like this just feel that much more immersive. And as much as I love the Wii U gamepad, and that was a nice feature, I also do remember that my wrist used to hurt a lot too, because that thing was heavy, so I always had to have it down, like just rested on my laps if I ever wanted to game for a very long time, especially something like 10 hours a day on stream. And then hearing the intro music play again immediately transported me back to that launch day in 2015 when I first streamed this game. And then it hit me, right? Like, I was like, god damn, this came out almost 10 years ago. And that realization gave me this weird sense of existential dread. Like, has it really been that long? It feels like I streamed it just yesterday, right? But my memories of exploring Mira are still so like strong and vivid. Like, I can picture myself running through this entire, world, avoiding high level enemies and just being amazed at how huge this actually is. I don't know, it just makes me feel weird, like a small speck in this universe, right? Like, even though 10 years feels like a long time, because it is, Like, it's like that. It just went by like that. But anyways, one of my most favorite memories was actually unlocking the Skell itself. I remember spending the first 50 hours just running around on foot, exploring every corner of this world before I even considered continuing the main story. I remember when I finally hit, I think it was like chapter 6 or something, I finally got the ability to get my license. And it wasn't just like a one-time easy thing. No, they made you work for it. It was hard work. Like, you had to prove yourself, basically getting like a driver's license for this robot. It was so worth it though. Like, suddenly I wasn't just running around anymore on my feet. I was piloting this giant robot that can transform into a motorcycle and just fly through this land at like 20 times the speed. It was awesome. And then, just when I thought it couldn't get any better, I unlocked the ability to fly. And seeing this world and seeing all the monsters and everything from the sky for the first time just blew me away. It was completely breathtaking. And I still think about that, like that feeling to this day. I think that Xenoblade Chronicles X definitely spoiled me for, my expectations towards an open world kind of like exploration. And as much as I love Zelda Breath of the Wild, Xenoblade X still feels like the ultimate open world experience, at least for me. The combination of the mechs, the flight, and the seamless exploration made it feel so unique. Like, this was my Breath of the Wild, right? And like I said, I enjoy both games, but this one just had some kind of like magic that I can only recreate by playing this remaster again. Now, playing the Switch version here felt like kind of like revisiting an old friend, right? As I recreated my original character, Squibbles, all the memories started hitting back. The cutscenes, the dialogues, all the characters. I remembered dodging these huge level 90 like gorilla creatures, barely surviving, right? Like trying to escape so they don't see me. And it all just came rushing back. And it was as magical as the first time playing this on the Wii U almost 10 years ago, which is insane. Like I said, I keep saying that, but it blows my mind that 10 years have almost passed since this game originally came out, and I still feel this way towards this game, right? Like, the fact that this game was even ported to the Switch feels like a miracle in itself. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say that it would never happen. It's not going to be possible. Even some of the developers, I think at Nintendo, said it's not going to happen. But I always believed. I never gave up. And guess what? It actually happened. Like, this game was too good to remain stuck on the Wii U. And as much as I love the Wii U, it's a very special console that holds near and dear to my heart, right? I'm one of those people that bought this game for $60 brand new day one, right? And I don't regret it at all. I bought the Wii U. I don't regret it at all. But I understand that the Wii U, it didn't do very well, right? Financially, there's a lot of people that missed out on these amazing games. I get it, right? Like, I bought a console, I bought this game. Maybe I should feel salty, right? That these games that I originally had on this console are now kind of, they don't matter anymore or something. I don't know how to phrase that. I'm very happy with all these like ports and remasters from the Wii U brought over to the Switch, right? Like, I don't know, how could you even be mad about that, right? The fact that more people can finally experience Xenoblade X on the Switch, let alone Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, Mario Kart 8, Super Mario 3D World, Pikmin 3, and all the other like million exclusives that were stuck on the Wii U but now are available on the Switch is like awesome. It's amazing, right? The fact that more people can actually experience these games is never a bad thing, right? Like, they shouldn't be locked or stuck on one console just because that's what they were originally like made for. And it's kind of crazy to think that, some people are growing up with the Switch. Like, this is their first console, right? They don't even know about the Wii U or anything else. And so seeing, some game like this could get them into the Xenoblade franchise, could get them into mechs like Gundam, could get them into like anime and RPGs like Final Fantasy and, who knows what else. And I love that we can experience this awesome game again on the Switch. And for those of us who were there in 2015 with the original game, it's like a nostalgic like feeling of, like, welcome back. Like, we've been waiting, but welcome back. I'm hoping whenever I make the big bucks, of course. Ladies and turds, feel free to support me on Patreon. I could use the help. I would love to get a Switch 2 eventually and a copy of Xenoblade Definitive Edition so I can experience, this game on this new console. And I'd like to actually replay this game and finally finish it from start to end, right? And I feel like, the handheld console lets me do exactly that. I wouldn't have finished Final Fantasy IX if it wasn't on the Switch. Because it was on the Switch, I was able to take it with me portably and, experience that amazing game. And the last thing I remember doing in Xenoblade X on the Wii U was actually fighting this giant spider lady boss. I'm not sure what chapter that was, but that's like the last memory I have before I stopped playing completely. So I'm glad that, it came out, and I'm so happy that this game is here. It's finally here after 10 years. 10 long years of being on the Wii U. Nintendo, now I'm waiting. Where's Wind Waker and Twilight Princess? I'm waiting. Like, come on, make it happen. You know you're gonna do it. Imagine if it's a launch title for Switch 2. I'd have a heart attack. But that's usually how they get me with Zelda, right? To buy a new console. Anyway, if you're a fan of open world RPGs, or if you're just looking for something truly unique, then I'll definitely give Xenoblade X a try. Feel free to tell me down below if you're playing this game too, if you're excited just like me, or if you're one of the original boys that were there back in the Miiverse days, right? Playing on the Wii U. With that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in another lovely video. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.